Giannis Antetokounmpo has won his first championship, so everybody wants to talk about whether he is now officially the best player in the NBA. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA, and here to talk about this very topic of Giannis and whether or not he is the best player in the world. Before I get into that, if you're new to the channel, hit that big red subscribe button down below. Make sure to follow me on all my social media platforms, guys, and hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. Okay, so look, I'm going to break this down for you guys, okay? Yes, Giannis won his first ring. All everybody wants to talk about is whether it's his league now, all right? Is he the best player? Is it LeBron? Is it KD? Is it Giannis? Let's break it all down for you guys and get right to it. All right, so here we go. Is Giannis Antetokounmpo, in fact, now the best player in the world? Let's talk about it, folks, because behind me, as you can tell, we've got a whiteboard here, and what I'm going to do is break down if, in fact, Giannis is now the best player in the world, and we're going to be comparing Giannis to the two other players that most people believe are in the argument for best player in the world, which is Kevin Durant and LeBron James. Now, could I have included other guys like a Kawhi Leonard, like a Steph Curry? Sure, but for the most part, the majority believes one of these three players is the best player in the world, so I'm going to go ahead and use these three guys. Excuse me, I can't even make three fingers. There you go. All right, so what am I basing this off of? A multitude of categories here. As you can tell, we've got scoring, shooting, passing, playmaking, rebounding, defense, IQ, leadership. I've pretty much broken down all of the attributes that a player has on the basketball court, and I'm going to be grading LeBron, Giannis, and KD on each of these three. So how's it going to work? Essentially, you get a 1, 2, or a 3. If you get a 1, you are the best at that category. 2, second best. 3, you're the worst at that category. And of course, we're only comparing between these three. Finally, at the end, every one of these guys is going to have a score here. The lowest score is going to be the guy who is the best, all right? Because, again, that means he has the most ones or, you know, the most twos or whatever. So the lowest score wins, and then second lowest, second best player, and third lowest, third best player. You get my point. Let's go ahead and get started here. At the top, the first category we've got is scoring. I don't think anybody will debate with me that between these three, the best scorer is Kevin Durant. He could be the best scorer of all time in NBA history. And yes, I know that includes the great Michael Jordan, the GOAT. But it could still be the case that KD, just because of his size and his ability to just score over everybody, we know that. So there's no debate here. KD's the best scorer of this group. Second best. Now we have a little bit of a debate. Giannis has been a better scorer, putting up more points in the last couple of seasons over LeBron, but that's because LeBron hasn't had to, all right? He's taken more of a passive role as he's aged in his career. However, I still believe LeBron's a better scorer. I think he's got more in his bag. I think he's a better jump shooter. I think he's a better shooter, period. But of course, there's more moves that LeBron has as a scorer than I believe Giannis has. And Giannis at this point, again, still a lot to develop, but he's a battering ram, right? He's got his move of driving to the basket. So I'm going to give LeBron a 2 here and Giannis a 3. All right, let's move on to shooting. And again, KD's the best shooter of this group. It's not close. Number 2, we know LeBron's a decent shooter. And Giannis still, even though he turned into Larry Bird at the free throw line in Game 6 of the NBA Finals, he is still the worst shooter, period, of these three. All right, should not be any argument there. Passing, playmaking, another one. Not meant much of an argument. LeBron's one of, if not the greatest passers of all time in NBA history. Clearly the best one out of this group. At number 2, Giannis has really improved his playmaking as of late. So I think Giannis has become a better playmaker. I'm going to give him the nod there, and then Kevin Durant at number 3, because Giannis has played the point forward spot in his career. We forget that. So I'm going to say he's the second best as a playmaker, and then KD last. All right, let's move on to rebounding. This one, Giannis gets his first dub here. He is the best rebounder, a dominating rebounder out of these three, by far the best one. At number 2, I'm going to go with LeBron James. Still a solid rebounder in his career. And then the worst one, I believe, is Kevin Durant, who, again, is a sporadic rebounder, not as great as these other two. All right, defensively, let's go ahead and mark this one down as Giannis' second dub. He is by far the best defender of this group. We know he's won a Defensive Player of the Year award, which none of these other two guys have. LeBron got close, but he didn't get it. And Giannis is just a dominating defender. He protects the rim. He can do it all. So this one's not close. At number 2, I'm going to go with Kevin Durant. who is still a very, very, very good defender in this league. And then LeBron James, as he's aged, has fallen off a little bit on the defensive end. He is the worst defender of the group. All right, IQ. Let's move on to IQ. And I still believe LeBron James has the best IQ of the group at number 1, LeBron. At number 2, I'm going to go with KD, just more experience. And at 3, Giannis. Again, I believe he still has room to grow, which is kind of scary because he's already got his first chip. And then finally, we've got leadership. Kind of got erased here a little bit. And I'm going to go with number 1, LeBron James for leadership, folks. Look, we know LeBron James is one of the best leaders in NBA history. He's able to literally galvanize the entire team around him and, make guys around him play better. And we know he's the ultimate teammate, always a pass-first guy. So I'm going to go with LeBron at number 1. I'm going to go with Giannis at number 2 in terms of leadership. We know everyone loves Giannis. He's arguably the most likable guy in the league. His teammates love him. And then 3, Kevin Durant. We know he can be a little prickly at times, and as a leader doesn't really have a lot of leadership intangibles. All right, so let's just be fair about that. So there we go. All right, here are all of the attributes. Now let's add it up, okay? So let's start with LeBron here. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, 11, 12. So 12 for LeBron James is his final score here. Let's go ahead and circle that. 2 plus 3, which is 5, plus 3, 8, 10, 12, 15 for Kevin Durant here. That's his score. And then finally, Giannis, 3, 6, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15 for Giannis. So, according to this, LeBron James is still the best player in the world, and it is essentially a tie between KD and Giannis. Whichever direction you want to go, you can go. But that, essentially, folks, is what, this is kind of showing you when you break it down, literally by every attribute of the game. LeBron James, I believe, is still the best player in the world. Now, again, Giannis won the title this year, folks. We know that. But just because you won the title doesn't mean you're automatically the best player, right? MJ was still the best player in the league and wasn't winning titles. So, as Giannis continues to improve, and he's got so much room to grow, he's going to get better and better, and he will be the best player in the world. But I believe it is still LeBron James, and then you can pick between Kevin Durant and Giannis for number 2. So there you have, folks. Let me know if you guys agree or disagree. Let me know down below why. All right, as always, thanks for watching.